Hello, everyone. It's Christoph Trapp, the authentic storyteller at CTrapp on Twitter. If you're tuning in from any of the other channels, this is syndicating to ChristopHTrapp.com, AuthenticStorytelling.net. Always happy to see you there as well. So today I want to talk about Facebook ads just a little bit. And here's the thing with social, guys. I love social. It's really helped my career. It helped me tell stories. It has helped me connect with people to build what some might call a global brand. Anybody can do it. I'm sitting here in my chair, actually my wife's new chair that she got for her birthday, in our dining room and in Iowa, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Every once in a while people tell me, oh my goodness, how can you be a global content marketer if you're in Cedar Rapids, Iowa? But it's possible, and there is actually an article coming out on that topic on AuthenticStorytelling.net. So I think it's coming out this week even. So make sure you sign up if that's of interest to you. It'll be on there before we know it here. Now, today I want to talk about Facebook ads. And what has happened is social media has really changed. We were in the organic era, way back when, and we could actually build an audience just with organic strategies. And today, almost impossible. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't do organic posts. You should. I do them too. But the numbers have really dropped quite a bit over the years, because obviously Facebook wants to make money. Who doesn't want to make money? And now they make you pay, and so does LinkedIn, and so does Instagram, which of course is owned by Facebook, and so does Twitter to an extent. I probably have still had the most success with Twitter. But so today I'm sitting here on a Saturday morning, and one of my daughters went to a tournament. My other one is still kind of sick. I actually stayed home with her yesterday, still kind of sick, so I'm home with her again today, even though it's a Saturday. And I was looking for something to do because we're really just hanging out at home. Went to the gym early on, and I had a couple ideas for blog posts. Not that I really need any written here in the last minute, because scheduled out through like March 12th or 8th or something like that. So no real rush there. But I wanted to look for something to write about for Monday, because I moved Monday's posts, and the first idea was to write about change management and how do we teach children to be okay when not everybody loves them. I think that's one of the hardest things to learn. So anyway, that's a deeper topic. Probably won't be able to turn that on a Saturday morning. The other one was why I always switch hotels when I'm on trips, right? And really, the reason is the points. So what you do is, every time, and of course this applies to me because I have a certain level of status on Marriott Bonvoy properties. I also wrote about the rebranding of that rewards program of Marriott. AuthenticStorytelling.net should be pretty up high if you want to check that out on the site still. I'm not a huge fan of those kind of rebrands, but I'm not necessarily in charge of that, especially not in that case. So anyway, so I'm on there, and I'm like, what? I actually want to run a couple of Facebook ads. I've tried some different things, and I wanted to run it. I'm not going to get into all the details on who I'm targeting and why I'm doing it and whatever, but I haven't done a Facebook ad in quite a while. I still recommend it when I'm working with teams to make sure you share your content, you get it in front of people, you target the right audiences. And I was greeted by a notice from Facebook. So again, I don't know how long ago it was in here they started putting this up, and maybe I just hadn't seen it. But they asked me to review our non-discrimination policy. And it says, and on the article, which we'll publish Monday morning, we will have the screenshots here so you can read it yourself if you don't just like listening to me read them to you. It says, our non-discrimination policy hasn't changed, but we're reminding advertisers that running ads or boosting posts that discriminate against people or groups is prohibited. So blah, 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 you have to read the policy, click on that, and then, there you go. So and then they give you examples. So that's actually very, very helpful of what they're doing. Guys, I'm going to take a quick zip here of water. It's still super cold in Iowa, but okay, and they're giving you examples of what is acceptable and what's not. Acceptable ad targeting. Targeting an ad for a job at a clothing store to all individuals of eligible working age, regardless of gender. So that means everybody over, what, 16, 18? I don't know what eligible working age means, but if you're in HR, you certainly know that. But you can't target, so then, ad discrimination. Targeting an ad for a job at a clothing store in a way that excludes women and discourages them from applying. So, obviously, you can't do that. And then the other thing is, where did I put it? Maybe I copied and pasted it. So, all the different groups and individuals that are typically covered by discrimination laws apply here. So, that would be race, ethnicity, national origin, religion, age, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, family marital status, disability, or medical or genetic condition. Now, what's interesting about that whole thing is I couldn't even tell you how you target anyone on medical condition. Are people talking about that? Are they putting that into their Facebook profile? Does Facebook know that I have some medical condition or some genetic condition? Maybe I don't even know I have it. So I don't know how anybody would ever know any of those things. So that's interesting. Of course, some of these things you can certainly discriminate people on, and I mean you could. You're not. It's against the law, so don't. But you can, because when you're thinking about most people have their gender on their Facebook profile, so you can certainly set your ad to exclude a certain gender. National origin, I'm not so sure. I actually grew up in Germany, former German citizen, and but I don't know how people would know that. I guess if they can tell, they can target by where I'm from, I guess. But just because I'm from Düsseldorf doesn't mean I'm a German citizen, right? I mean, there are all kinds of Americans over the years have been born in other countries, including Germany. So some of those things, I'm not even sure how you could target, but those are the rules. So make sure, let's follow them. And then the other thing is, so I actually did go back. I have a number of custom audiences created. And I would highly recommend that you do that. If you do any targeting, any advertising on Facebook, set up your audiences that you define and that you will use when the time is right. And, save them. So it's kind of cool to see that. So I have, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, something like that. And so the ones I have currently set is travel. I have no idea what that is. We really should add a little, they should add a little box that explains to you what that is. So travel is one. July 4th, 2018 is when that was created. So I'm not exactly sure what that one was used for. And then I have events global. That one was created May 20, 2018. And so I am pretty sure I know what that one is for. 53,000 people in that group, the potential reach. So I'm sure I'm targeting event planners that actually want, that are hiring speakers. So I'm getting that ad in front of people with that. Then in November 2017, I actually created a custom audience that's recruiters in the United States. Potential reach of almost 10,000. So what I was trying to do there is, and I don't remember if this is only, I only took a screenshot, and that's what I'm looking at right now. I don't have the actual Facebook page in front of me. So 10,000 recruiters. I don't remember if I was just targeting executive recruiters or what. I'm pretty sure it wasn't industry specific. As you know, content marketing can be used across many industries, whether they're highly regulated or they're not. Doesn't make any difference. There's just different pieces that you can use. But I did actually run an ad to find a new job, and I targeted recruiters. So ultimately, I'm pretty sure that didn't lead to my current job, but yeah, pretty sure it didn't happen that way because I was talking to the CEO through a so it wasn't like I didn't target CEOs, I targeted the recruiters because typically you do have to talk to the recruiters first. Then I have digital marketers in the Americas and Australia. 2017, 11 million people potential reach. Marketers, US, Australia, and New Zealand. I am actually not sure what I was doing there. And then there's one, talk about USA. Why, like, is that everybody and their brother? I don't know. And then I actually have one that is Iowa. So I used that group one time to target Facebook users in Iowa because I was sharing an article on the top 10 reasons why I'm probably not going to move out of Iowa tomorrow. Now, I'm always open to anything. I'm always open to talking about things, brainstorming how do we get somewhere. My family, my mom lives in Germany, my sister, my brother, so I don't really see them too often. We do FaceTime or WhatsApp video, I guess, is the real tool. But my wife's family lives here. We have 2 daughters. Of course, it's nice to be near them and that they can see each other. So I did publish that article, the top 10 reasons why I probably won't move. And, honestly, you can really work from anywhere. You can travel. I worked for a company in Toronto. I worked here in my home office, and then I traveled there quite frequently. Not a big deal. They had offices in Germany. I would go to Germany. I would go to Munich. I would meet the team there. We would do Zoom meetings. It's not 1972 or whatever year we want to pick on here. So, but anyway, that audience, 1.7 million people are in that audience. And what's interesting about that is you can actually use that tool to figure out what percentage of the population is on Facebook. I mean, that's kind of how I read that. I don't think I targeted to, I think I just said with a geographic fence of the borders of Iowa, and there's 1.7 million people on Facebook. And Iowa currently has 3.1 million people total, and that is actually, interestingly, that is trending up. Not super fast, but it is trending up. And so we know over half of Iowa is on Facebook. I would have actually guessed that the number would be bigger, but if you ever have that coming up in a meeting, is anybody on Facebook? This group isn't on Facebook. We can't reach them on Facebook. Blah, blah, blah. We hear it all the time, right? When you're in meetings with people who try to pick things apart and who don't want to change and who don't want to try new things. And that is actually a way you can look that up. So I guess based on the Facebook Advertising Manager and then this, I'm pretty sure this is census data. Can't tell what it's coming from, honestly. Nebraska, by the way, has 1.9 million. So more people in Iowa than Nebraska. And Kansas, 2.9, Minnesota, 5.5. Okay, we're totally off topic here. That's okay. We got to fill the hour. Just kidding. It's not an hour-long show. But something to think about. You can actually do that. You can say, okay, if we think this is the target market, go into Facebook Advertiser, and you can see how many people in that market, in that geographic area, are actually on that network. So it's a very nice tool to use. So that's all I have, guys. It don't discriminate. So for marketers, does this even apply? So can I not just market to women? Of course I can. Can I, I think, and I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not, keep that in mind. I'm just thinking out loud here. It appears to me that this mostly applies when you're trying to hire people, when you're trying to give opportunities to people. So if you're trying to sell something to me, and you're only trying to sell it to me and not, my neighbor who is a member of a protected class or protected group, and you're filtering that person out, is that actually discrimination? You got to ask your lawyer, but I'm leaning that that is probably not discrimination, right? Because you're like, is that an opportunity? If I target you so you can buy something from me, So then I'm giving you the opportunity to pay me. I don't know if that applies here, but I, could be wrong. I've been, prove me wrong if that's not what it is. So something to think about. Bottom line is, I don't really see a reason why I would ever, discriminate, or why I would ever target an ad based on any of these things. Anyways, typically most of my targeting is by geolocation. So all of Iowa, all of New York City, Manhattan, whatever, right? Doesn't make any difference what area it is. Or if I want to, let's say hypothetically speaking, and I already told you, we're probably not moving anytime soon, so this is hypothetical. But let's say I want to move to Portland, Oregon, right? And first thing to move there, I need a job in Portland, Oregon. So what I might do is I might create a Facebook ad, maybe a couple, so I can test them, and then I target executive recruiters in Portland, Oregon. Now, I guess I shouldn't target them based on their gender. I only would like to talk to female, or only would like to talk to male recruiters. I mean, that's kind of dumb anyways, right? Why does anybody care what gender they are? But ultimately, they're really offering you an opportunity. So this is just an awareness campaign, a marketing campaign to get in front of people. So something to think about. Probably there is a difference there. But the bottom line is, the easiest way probably to make sure you're in compliance is to not discriminate, to not target by any of those things. And as I mentioned earlier, so the groups, which is very typical, which is, there's laws for already on the books here to not discriminate against these groups: race, ethnicity, national origin, religion, age, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, family and marital status, disability or medical or genetic condition. Again, honestly, I'm not even sure how you target against some of those areas. That's not even an option in Facebook. And the other thing is, why does Facebook even give you the option? So if this is not allowed, if you can't target by these things, why is that even an option to do? So something to think about. Most of my targeting has been based on job title and based on location and based on, I guess those are really the main things. And I don't remember if I ever done any age targeting. I don't think so. I think maybe I set it to 18 and up one time when I was trying to get in front of recruiters, but I certainly have never done the whole filtering audiences out by gender. So something to think about, guys. Facebook ads, try them, do them. They may still work when you do them strategically. If you have any questions, reach out anytime at ctrap on Twitter. Email is ctrap@gmail.com. That's CTRAPPE @gmail.com. There's also a longer one, ctrap@christophtrap.com, but good luck trying to remember that. If you can, use that one if you don't want to email me to Gmail. But anyways, something to think about. Facebook ads, do what's right. Keep the customer at the center of what you're doing. Make sure you're doing the right thing. Be customer focused, prospect focused, whatever you call your leads. Doesn't make any difference. I haven't seen the same notice on other channels, so probably the LinkedIn, maybe that's where it all started. LinkedIn, I do remember a headline way back when where they talked about how people were filtering out, HR people, I guess, at some companies were filtering out people based on age. So probably that's where it all started. But, I haven't seen it on Twitter. I did most recently run an ad on Twitter. I did actually just run a campaign on LinkedIn not too long ago, and I don't remember any of these protected areas even being an option. So something to think about, guys. Good luck with your content syndication, social promotion strategies. And if you have any questions, reach out anytime. Christoph Trapp here, Saturday morning in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Marion, Iowa, but that is the Cedar Rapids area in Iowa. Thanks for joining me, and please stay in touch.